Hello and welcome to this semester's second QUTV After Hours. I'm Colleen McCormick and today we have a few new faces to the show. Would you all like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Allison Malone, a QU reporter.
I'm Randy Swope. I'm one of the technical directors.
And I'm Stephen Philippi, also QTV reporter.
Well, let's get started. A huge and continuing controversy in America right now revolves around Ferguson, Missouri. Monday night, the news came that the grand jury will not indict Officer Darren Wilson in the shooting death of Michael Brown. Despite a call for peaceful protests from the Brown's family, local St. Louis leaders, and President Obama, Ferguson saw violence and looting all night long, with more than 80 arrests. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think it's crazy, just because the verdict came down now, and there's so much violence down there. I was watching earlier some of the videos, and they started boarding up houses, they started boarding up stores, everything around there, and then all the police officials are using tear gas and rubber bullets, and they're like trying to stop some of this violence after this occurrence. I just think it's wild down there.
I think that there's a lot of misinformation going on. Either there's solid, hard facts, or we don't know enough. And that's the reason why we have riots going on the streets, is because people are panicking. And I'm not for sure if even the jury knows exactly what happened with Michael Brown. And it's kind of a scary thought that our legal system puts those things up to toss and people make a decision, but we don't even know if we have all the real information and all the hard facts.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You can go ahead.
It's definitely frustration. I don't condone violence at all, but I do believe that just nonviolence alone is not going to solve any problems. I think it takes a lot more. It takes prayer. It takes the community to come together, change in the police departments, change within African American communities to make a difference and make a change. It's not only something to talk about for today or tomorrow, for a week or for a month. You know, you got to live it every day. And I think that it's important that this is out there and this is an eye-opener. So once again, another eye-opener.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people might see some of those protesters and say that it's fake anger, or they're just being upset to be upset, but that's not true. I mean, this is a serious issue, and people are actually mad. And so I mean, a lot of people just think that they're making it up and just throwing a hissy fit, but this is a big deal.
I think in response to something you had said earlier, you said that even the jury doesn't really know what happened. And while that's sort of true, because like there's so many different stories out there, the jury has seen all of the evidence, over 70 hours worth. They have heard all of the eyewitness testimony, seen all of the evidence, and this is what they have come up with, and this is their choice. And while it's an awful situation, and I completely agree with you that there are things that need to change, and you know, violence is obviously not the answer, but I think one of the things that is the shame is that there are so many peaceful protesters out there, and none of us get to hear about that. You don't hear about that on CNN. You don't hear about that in the local news or anything. You just see the violence and the rioters, and it's just unfortunate.
And I feel like that's what the media tries to put out there. Honestly, I feel like the media tries to just put out all the angry people and all the people that are not peacefully protesting.
Right.
And I mean, that's what allows certain types of race think about African Americans. That's exactly why they feel like that. And I don't understand how from the black community, I'm gonna keep it brief, but as a black community, as an African American woman, I can only imagine how it's like to be an African American male. But we do have to realize that Mike Brown's body was out there for 4 hours. Wilson, the police, did not report the shooting, and it's bizarre behavior going on, and I think it definitely needs to be, addressed and so on. But I'll keep it short.
Addressed
Yeah.
definitely in a peaceful way, hopefully,
Right.
in the future. So moving on from Missouri to New York, many states across the U.S. have gotten record-breaking snowfall. Cities like Buffalo, New York, not only have a threat for more snow, but even for flooding. What are your reactions, and what about the Quincy and our early flurries?
Well, man, just being the weather guy, I can tell you straight off, the East Coast has already been hit hard this year. And I mean, it's November right now, and we still have a lot more months in order to continue on throughout those winter months. And Buffalo got hit really hard, you guys.
Yeah, just to add on that, not to butt in.
Yeah.
They had up to like 7 foot in some spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like couldn't leave their building, their house, their work. People got stuck in their areas of where they were when that snow hit. And like, that would be crazy if that happened to Quincy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only had a few flurries so far, but it will add up. I believe this year, and what other people say, it's gonna hit hard. Snow is gonna be a big thing in Quincy this year, supposedly.
As much as I love snowboarding and sledding, I don't think we don't need it this year.
I hope we don't get that much snow. It's 7 feet. Last year, with all the ice and then the snowfall, that was hard enough. I don't know how we're going to be able to handle so much snow this year.
Definitely. I know that Chicago probably will be hit with a lot of snow just because it is Chicago. I really do feel bad for Buffalo. Like, I feel horrible for
Yeah.
them. Like,
Especially because all that snow
Yeah,
melted. And then now they have huge flooding areas, and it's just caused another huge disaster problem.
Yeah, this video you're seeing right now, I mean, they had up to 7 feet right here, and this is
Like, you can barely
this is
see
just
that
the
guy.
beginning. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can barely see the house that's in the background. I mean, and it's already going.
And I was reading an article about the flooding, and they were saying to people, don't wait till the last minute. Take everything out of your basements. Any valuables that you have, take them out of the basements, because that's going to be obviously where the flooding hits first. And have your bags packed and ready to go. That way, if flash floods happen right away, you can get out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the guy right here. He's up to his waist. Imagine in Quincy here, trying to go from, I don't know, your dorm to, I don't know, the CAF or the UC to just try to get food.
Yep.
That would be a really difficult task.
And then off campus, I mean, people think of the roads. I mean, we don't use the roads as much on campus because usually we have everything here, but whew, that's bad.
Well,
But,
everything would be shut down.
yeah.
There's no way Quincy has enough snow plows to keep up with the demand of that amount of snow.
Absolutely.
It would be chaotic.
Yep.
As we informed you last week on our QUTV News Update, the Rotary Club of Quincy recently donated $25,000 to Quincy University to create the Quincy Rotary Centennial Park on Friars Field. The park will include a series of exercise equipment for adults to use. What are your thoughts? Will you use this equipment?
I think it's interesting. I feel like it's a grown-up playground, and I'm not sure if people will use it or they may love it. It's just something I'm not really sure of. I mean, I would probably use it if I'm staying here, but since I'm graduating this semester, I don't know if I'd be the one to use it, but it sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Kansas City recently, and they had some of that exact same equipment there. And just adults were using it on a regular basis. And it wasn't weird or anything like that. It was just like going on a jog, except they have these little elliptical things which you use your legs on. And it's basically just like one of those elliptical treadmills. And I forgot exactly what the word for the equipment was. But it was metal equipment, and just people used it. And I don't know, it looked pretty cool to me. I think I'd try it. It'd be pretty cool. It's right outside the fitness center, too, so that's kind of helpful.
that'd be nice. I always want to, do treadmills or do certain equipment and still get the, breeze of outside,
Yeah, that outdoor-
outdoorsy.
Yeah, that's the nice part.
So that'd be nice. I'd probably try it. I'd probably definitely try it.
It's definitely worth a shot, and I think I read that it's supposed to be ready by April or May, weather permitting, obviously. So even if we do graduate next May, we should have a little bit of time to try it out.
Yep.
Something cool.
Definitely.
Well, from new additions on campus to new deals on Black Friday, Now more than ever, stores are coming out with deals for shoppers not just on Friday, but on Thanksgiving Day. What do you think about this? Is this a problem, and will you go Black Friday or Thursday shopping?
Yeah, well, I mean, that common saying, I mean, it's like we have give thanks for everything we have. We thank God and we thank our families for all the things that we're provided for, and then we go out and we get the hottest deal. And some people get plowed down during those lines that they're trying to get to in order to get their items, and it just shows the greed of America. I mean, what better day than Black Friday, right? But, I mean, then again, I mean, you can get some great deals that day. So it depends if you're selfless enough and let the other person go, and as long as you don't trample the guy, I think it's all right in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's all right to go. I've never gotten up at 4 in the morning or gone out on Thanksgiving Day to go shopping, but I have gone at like 3 in the afternoon on Black Friday to get something. Like if I think about it, last year I did, but I didn't even realize that it was Black Friday until I was already out shopping. You can get some great deals, but I do feel bad for anybody who has to work retail on Thanksgiving Day, or even super early Friday morning, super late that night. It's sad, and personally, I'm not a huge shopping person, so I probably won't go, or like I said, if I do go, it will be like at 3 or 4 in the afternoon on Friday.
Right.
Yeah, like we were saying with retail, actually like a year ago, I was working at the mall, and I had to go to, right after Thanksgiving dinner, I had to head to the mall, and it was like from maybe 10, and I had to work the entire Friday. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. Everybody was, it just seemed like a huge riot. People were angry, and like you said, I mean, it just depends on if someone's willing to let that person go up front or whatever the case is, but I don't know. I think it is a problem, but then again, if you're willing to just go out on Thanksgiving Day and, not really do anything with the family or whatever the case is, I mean, it's you. It's your choice, so.
Sure. And, I mean, there are riots in Ferguson. There might be riots in Walmart, I mean, depends on how far you want to go.
Well, I mean, there probably is going to be a lot of riots because I just don't get the fact that a lot of stores like Walmart, Target, and Sears, and tons of other ones, they're starting Black Friday way before it should be.
Yep.
It's not Black Friday anymore. I have a feeling in the future, next year, probably Black Tuesday. And it'll go on from Black Tuesday to Black Friday and then Cyber Monday. I think it's just going to be a huge event that is not needed. Like, I get that people want new things and great deals. I mean, I've done it myself. I've been up at 4 in the morning to do one of these things. And it's fun and all, but then I just can't see it anymore. Like, starting Black Friday before Friday is crazy.
Yeah, it takes the whole point out of it.
Yeah.
Well, besides Black Friday deals, another hot topic that college students are discussing is the idea of internet neutrality. Recently, there have been court appeals on treating different types of content on the internet differently. This would mean a slower internet connection to certain websites, charging variation for internet service providers, internet regulation, and even the possibility of much of the internet shutting down. What are your thoughts as a college student on this issue?
That would be terrible. I'm a huge Netflix user, and I can say probably a lot of college students are. Of some sort of video for like TV and movies and whatnot, whether Hulu or Netflix. But if they were to slow my Netflix down, I would be infuriated. I like to watch my Netflix, and I want it now. So, and then if you restrict my other sites like Facebook or like a Twitter or something like that, it's really gonna suck.
Yeah. I heard an interesting perspective recently. Back in the 1700s, when they were putting a tax on sugar and stamps and things like that, people were throwing riots in the streets and were like, oh, come on, it's just sugar and stamps. But that was important to them. And this is the next big thing where it's just a daily form of life. And, I mean, the government's going to start regulating it, or other companies are going to start charging more for it. And so this is kind of the exact same thing that's happening in the 1700s, where it was a daily use and cycle of things that we use on a daily basis, and internet is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, this is kind of the same repetition that's happening now. It's kind of interesting. But
Also, if they do that, like Netflix is already, what, $7.99 or $6.99 a month?
Something
70,
like that.
yeah.
if this happens, they're gonna boost that probably, more than likely.
Oh, yeah.
Would
Yep.
you be willing to pay more for your Netflix?
I wouldn't put it any past like $9 a month.
No more than
Yeah.
$9? What about you?
10 at the highest, but
Actually, I really don't think that Netflix is bad at all right now. I think
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
price is
well, right
pretty
now,
cheap.
yes. But if this comes
If
into
it-
effect, I guarantee they'll boost the prices up.
I think I'd be willing to pay a little bit more
Yeah,
than
I would too.
$10 a month for Netflix, but
Well, that's just
if it-
Netflix.
Well, that's true.
Just think of all the other sites.
And Hulu and YouTube. What if YouTube starts charging?
Yeah.
Because
gosh.
they're being charged by the internet service providers.
That's just going to be
Sure.
It's gonna
terrible.
make our lives of writing papers even more difficult. Because what about like Wikipedia? That's a huge. There's a lot of
Uh-huh.
information on that site. Obviously,
Mhm.
it's not video streaming, but still, they could start charging for Wikipedia, which is supposed to be free all the time.
And then also taking a look at the other flip side of those things. I mean, as much as we want free content all the time, which would be awesome, I mean, some of these websites, I mean, are hard-working business owners too. And I hate to be that guy to say we can't always have it for free either, because I'm entirely wanting Netflix to stay at $7.99. But I mean, they are independent business owners too, so it's like, oh shoot, we can't get what we want when we want it. So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a conundrum that we're in right now.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, that's it for this edition of QUTV After Hours. As always, remember to tune in online on Facebook or on Channel 97 on campus for more news anytime. Be sure to tune into our Facebook page and respond to any of our questions or any of the topics that we discussed today. For the entire QUTV team, I'm Colleen McCormick, and we'll see you next week.